I'm Arthel Neville, and you are in the strategy room. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is stirring controversy after voicing support for the creation of a mandatory database to track Muslims in the United States. The businessman's comments are the latest in an escalating series of responses by presidential candidates following the deadly attacks in Paris. Here with reaction are political strategists Basil Smikle Jr. and TJ McCormack. Welcome to you both. And TJ, I'm going to start with you on this. What's your reaction to Trump's position?
It should sink him. It should end his campaign, and it should put him on the negative side of the column, which means he's going to go up. His numbers are going to go up, and it's going to be another Trump move. This guy is not Teflon. He is impenetrable. I don't think the bad stuff gets near. I think it repels before it even touches him. It's weird because the Republicans had the opportunity for all the moral high ground in the world. The entire world, the New York Times, the Washington Post, everybody was turning on the president for his lack of authority on what happened in Paris, his petulance in his press conferences on foreign soil, right when the Republicans had the chance to take and claim the moral high ground and never give it up. Here comes Donald Trump muddying the waters with his own messaging campaign of track all Muslims. It gives the rest of the Republicans a little bit of political cover. They can at least come out and call for increased scrutiny of refugees in general.
Then let me turn to Basil on this. How does the recent attack in Paris impact the campaign trail?
Well, you've seen Hillary Clinton take a very strong stand in terms of our strategy against ISIS, but also saying very clearly that we've got to spend more time getting the Muslim countries to be with us in helping push back. There are some reports that suggest that she's a little stronger than President Obama is right now on this issue. I can imagine that that's the case, particularly going into Iowa and New Hampshire in a couple of weeks and months. But the reality is, and to go back to what TJ was saying, if Donald Trump continues along this path, it is an extraordinarily dangerous path. And I think every candidate on the Republican side should, but I doubt they will. Yeah. But certainly we'll see Democrats, I think, consistently pushing Donald Trump and others back. But my fear is that we'll spend so much time pushing him back that we're actually not getting to the details of how we need to move forward.
And therein lies also, again, that political cover for the rest of the Republicans. They can at least get onto this bandwagon where, they can say, look, we have to be very resolute in vetting all of these potential refugees coming in, because look what happened about in the last 48 hours, last couple of days. We found people in Honduras trying to make it through with stolen Greek passports. They were Syrian. They caught a few at the border. So there are, and one of the apparent attackers in Paris was in fact from Syria. So anyway, it's one of these things where there are some facts and some evidence on the side. But Donald, again, he can afford to. Somehow he's able to do it. And let's also not forget, the reason that he doesn't take a dip in the polls is because there's people in America who agree with them. Which is a little...
Well, yeah.
Let me give you a last question to both of you, and we'll end it here. Because national security concerns are dominating the headlines. I mean, first of all, you, Basil, mentioned that Hillary Clinton could possibly be strong on this issue, given her experience. But I ask you, are there other candidates who could benefit from this being front and center, the national security concerns?
Well, I think, interestingly enough, I think someone like on the Democratic side, certainly Martin O'Malley and Bernie Sanders have shown some. They show that they're somewhat conversant on this, although I think Hillary came out a bit stronger in the last debate talking about foreign policy issues. On the Republican side, this is an opportunity for Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio to step up a bit, given their history in the Senate. But we cannot have the language that Donald Trump has been putting forth, and unless they come out and actually go find proactive strategies to help the president fight back, I don't see how they're going to get any traction.
National polls are already showing a big jump for Ted Cruz. Case in point, Ted Cruz has already jumped up in many national polls. He's number 3. It's an opportunity for them all to pile on, because now also Ben Carson is showing absolute terrible numbers on his foreign policy. That was happening about a week before Paris happened. He's now dropping based on foreign and national security issues. And And it's also the time for Jeb Bush to now take a stand, because he's always been claiming he's the adult in the room.
But are you
Here's his
surprised
chance.
that he's not moving up in the polls right now? So
Jeb? Well, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Is that well? That's what I mean. It now is if he's ever going to claim that ground as the adult in the room, it's now. And so far, it's not happening. Ted Cruz has now become the adult in the room.
The biggest problem with Jeb Bush, there are two of them actually. One, he's been out of the spotlight too long.
Yeah.
The campaigns and elections changed a lot since 2002, I believe, when he last ran for election or re-election. So a lot's changed, and he sort of didn't keep up with the times, number one. And number two, his brother, George W., won election based on this wave of evangelical support, the religious right in the South. Jeb Bush doesn't really have that. He's not capturing that. In fact, Ted Cruz and
That's
Ben
Ted
Carson
Cruz, yeah.
have been able to capitalize on that.
they're
So
running
that's
away
why
from Ben now.
right, and that's why he really doesn't have a foothold anywhere in this cycle.
Yeah.
well, we leave it there. And TJ, you got a fancy tie on there. It's for
Thank
your
you.
Archbishop Stepanak, your high school,
Stepanak
right?
High School. They are playing tomorrow for the championship, the Catholic High School Championship in the Bronx. Westchester, Stepanak going to beat Cardinal Hayes from the Bronx tomorrow. I promise you, the Crusaders of Archbishop Stepanak High School. Go Crusaders.
And there we go. Thanks to both of you, Basil Smikle Jr. and TJ McCormack. Check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Arthel Neville. Thanks for watching.